Hey, this is Lero, Urban Retro Songstress slash DJ, and you're tuning in to get to know more about me. Urban Retro,
All the ladies on my urban retro, come on my urban retro, come on my urban retro, come on. Come on. We are lovers through and though we made it through the storm. I really want you to realize, I really want to put you on. There is nothing I wouldn't do for you. You said that you needed time away, but that was so long ago.
And Urban Retro is actually a combination of what Urban Retro means. It's a combination of, blending the old with the new. What we grew up to, what our parents grew up to, grandparents, finding, of course, the authenticity and the artistic, the art in that, and bringing it into today, today's music and presentations for today. Gospel singers, I mean, that's where I got my vocal training in church. So didn't go to a school. I didn't go to a professional music or performing arts school to learn the craft and learn it, learn it formally. So church and the choir was my formal vocal training. I'm just inspired by now. I mean, I'm inspired by more than just singing or singers. I'm inspired by art. I'm just moved by, of course, life experiences that have artistic value to it. Of course, overcoming adversity really inspires me. All of those things inspire me to write. And, even in song selection now when I, DJ, I pay very close attention to, you know, the customers that hire me to spin at their events. I pay very close attention to them and what the demographic is, and age group, culture. So I make sure I'm making sure I'm staying on track with what the people would most likely most of the people want to hear played. So yeah, I always admire Spinderella as a DJ too. So, like, even at an early age, I knew I wanted to DJ. I guess I didn't find the right time for it till now. I love like too many artists. I am like, if I just go on top of my head. Okay, so starting with my mixtape, Urban Retro Life Volume 1. There's a song called Urban Retro Vibe, All the Ladies. So I'm like using, it's a medley I put together, and it's comprised of different lyrics, whether hooks or out of verses from ladies I grew up to and I've been inspired by. So there's Mary J. Blige in there, there's Janet Jackson, there's TLC, there's Whitney Houston, Beyonce, En Vogue, Madonna, just to name a few that are in that song, Urban Retro Vibe, All the Ladies Part 1, because I'm going to do a Part 2. I'm going to do Part 2. So some of my accomplishments, I mean, as an independent artist, a professional independent artist so far, and I'm still, my work, of course, is not done yet, but, you know, um, I'm a member of the Recording Academy, the Grammy Recording Academy, the Philadelphia chapter, and I've been to, different networking events and including I was in a contest and I became a finalist for Andre Harrell and Carvin Haggins and Ivan Barrios. Carvin and Ivan, they're a production team based out of Philly. They produce for Music Soul Child and Jasmine Sullivan. They produce for a lot of Philly soul artists. And Ivan is actually the president of the Philly chapter Recording Academy. But I made their final cut in the Philadelphia Soul Search in 2010. And also, I opened up for Ebony Magazine, one of their big events that they do called Sister Speak, and is sponsored by Pine Sol and, of course, Ebony Magazine. And I was the featured vocalist, and I, sang an inspirational song that was very empowering to be around so many dynamic women in different fields and see them being honored, as leaders. So definitely empowering. That was a great experience too. There are about 500 people there, so I was real nervous. And I put out a mixtape called Layro Presents Euphoria. I put that out in 2010. And, it was like my test run. So locally, people, invested into it. I did a small release where I performed at the Sugar Bar that year. And people were so supportive up there and bought it. And I've developed like the new networks there and friendships and, from there, I know, like, I just took off. I was like, okay, this is what it's about. Like, the indie grind I see. It was like, it's all about networking, having a positive attitude, being a go-getter, always working on perfecting your craft and staying at it. Like, the consistency, your persistence, reinventing yourself. Like, I feel like, although I haven't changed fully, Layro, I mean, I've reinvented myself as far as, like, learning more about the business, how to go about handling my business, services I can provide on an entertainment level, more than just singing, songwriting, such as the DJing, hosting, like event planning and PR. I do those things for myself, and now I've evolved enough where I can provide the professional services for others. So, being an entrepreneur, I mean, that year, February 2010, just 2009, when I decided to become a professional solo artist, and I was working on my mixtape, but it debuted at the Sugar Bar February 2010. My career just has been taking off since then. So I can't wait for y'all to hear my mixtape, Urban Retro Life, Volume 1. I have some dope independent producers on here that contributed to the project, and I'm using some industry beats as well. So I'm not going to explain too much here on the vlog. So because I'm going to be explaining and talking to y'all in person about it. But I'm real excited for y'all to hear it, and yeah. Thank you for listening to me explain a little bit more about me. Layro, Urban Retro Songstress DJ. One more time.
Okay.
The ending. And I'll take with me the memory, be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.